Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Molchap here, coming at you with another StarCraft commentary. We got another ASL preview match here for you today. We got Hero versus Snow. Excuse me. And this is gonna be Snow up here in the top right, the Protoss player. And he's gonna be playing against Hero in the bottom right. There's Hero right there. It's just really interesting to think about this scenario. So this is from the Winners League, and the last game I casted, I said it was Winners League, and it actually wasn't Winners League. It was Pro League, but pretty sure this is Winners League. Could be wrong. Ooh, look at that. Is that the map stats? Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, I missed it. Anyway. And by the way, this is some really nicely drawn handwriting there. I think they're like giving a compliment to the caster, because I was doing a test a minute ago, and the Korean casters was saying thank you. So this must be a compliment to the casters or something. Anyway, so Hero and Snow. This is 2010 that they're playing in the Winners League, and you can see this is the first match, so there's no... this is a fresh start, and that means that both these players have actually been able to prepare for this matchup, specifically for this map, because they knew that they were going to be first up. And I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that they publish who the first player is. Or they published who the first player is. I don't think that was hidden information. Anyway, we got Forge Expand going on for Snow. So this is a preview of the ASL quarterfinal that's going to be coming up in like a day or two. Not sure exactly when this video is going up online, but probably about a day. And so it's really interesting to see that this situation where these two players, if we go back to 2010, both these guys were like round of 32 players, round of 24 players. Like Snow, I think he only got past like the first round of a Star League once in the Kespa days. Hero, I think he might have gotten a little bit farther. I don't remember off the top of my head. I forgot to check. But both these players are mostly just kind of like Pro League heroes, you know? They were really, really extremely solid members of their team. But they never super excelled on their own. And they never, you know, could quite get on the same level as the top players and back in the day. So, you know, they were really, really solid Pro League players. They were really good players. Snow played a lot of games, actually, despite having not really gone in any Star Leagues. He has like almost 200, I think, televised games on the record in TLPD. So, and these Zerglings are kind of maybe wasting some time running around in circles here. He doesn't need all of them to try and kill the pro, but especially if he's not really microing that hard, he might want to push out and try and put some pressure on. But it looks like he's playing more defensively, so that's something interesting to think about. Anyway, so then fast forward to 2022, 12 years later. And now, these two guys are the top tier of their race, right? Snow is considered to be one of the best, if not the best, Protoss player in the modern era right now. At the moment, I should say, not the whole era. And Hero is... I don't think... it'd be hard to say he's the best, but he's definitely one of the top few Zerg players. I'm not saying he's not the best, but like it's a little bit harder to make that argument when you've got so many good Zerg players right now. But Hero's definitely one of the top couple, top few Zerg players right now. So it's really interesting that we've got this like game from back in the day, and then thinking about how far they've come, or how the game has changed perhaps as well. And we do have a Hydralisk Den up here for Hero right now. This probe is really fighting hard to try and get back in there to get his scout off, but Hero's actually, now that he's gotten the probe out of there, he's really using these links to shield his entrance so that the probe can't get in there. That'd be really fun if there was like another probe running around the side and the links chasing it out. No, he actually even has two Zerglings to stop anything from going there. So is this going to be a big like Hydralisk bust or something like that? And we're actually seeing that after the Forge expansion, he got he got his second base up. We're talking about, Snow now. We just saw he's getting a second gas. He's going to be going heavy into economics, as it looks like. We don't see a lot of gateways or anything yet that I'm aware of. He's probably gonna have a Stargate out pretty soon. But this is this like gonna be a big Hydralisk bust? Because he's really fighting hard to make sure that he doesn't get a scout in there. I mean, these Zerglings are now chasing things around. He doesn't seem to have Zergling speed, though. Oh, but he let the door down! The door's open! He's gonna run the probe right in! No, Hero, you were so diligent about blocking, and then you just met. Oh, and he goes and he sees the Hydralisk den. Oh no, we're probably gonna see more cannons going up for Snow here in just a moment, because yeah, I think there's one already. There's another, yeah. Oh no, I mean, just if you scout this, you just build some extra cannons and you're fine, and then you win the game. And if he does in fact go for this bust, he's even building Robo in the background right near the entrance so that he can actually try and build Reavers as close to the front as possible there. Moving out with some units onto the map. This is probably a delay tactic. He wants to kind of try and do some skirmishing, but there's already Hydralisk mounting here. The Dragoon is going to come in here and be like, I'm a cannon, guys. Let me just pretend to be a cannon. I'm going to do my cannon impersonation. I think he needs maybe even more cannons, but the thing is he scouted the Hydralisk den. Now these Zealots have scouted the group of Hydras there, so he knows this is a big bust. And there's a bunch of idle larvae. He's got like 6, 7, 8 larvae right now. This is interesting. What is he waiting? Was he waiting to see what the reaction was, maybe? To see if there are more cannons to decide? He might even, he might even be playing a 7-head move here, and he was waiting, and now that, okay, no, it's more Hydras, JK. I was like, maybe he's making to make drones and try and pull out of this now that he's forced so many cannons. And it was able to kill some stuff. He's gonna go in right now. The extra Hydralisks are gonna be on the way, but they're gonna be a little bit late to this party. In the meantime, he's pushing in here. There's one pylon. He can target down the pylon and kill 6 cannons worth of. Actually, no, there's a second pylon coming in behind that, so it wouldn't be too much of a delay. Actually, I just realized. So Snow realizing the vulnerability there and taking care of it ahead of time. He's now just forced to fight with probes, though. He's lost his forge, so he cannot build any more cannons. These 3 cannons are all that's left for this defense, and if he kills those 3 cannons, you can see the gateway's gone too. He's got no way to produce anything. He just has to try and buy time for the support base. Okay, the forge does come up in the background, but he's got no gateway, so it's just probes. And Hero, I think, is maybe missing an opportunity. He could come in here and take a little bit of cannon fire and kill so many probes right now. It would be a huge move, but I think he wants the kill, is what it looks like here. So he's going to try and wait for more units. No, we don't see more units going across the map. Oh, never mind. There he's coming in. Oh, the Reaver's in play, though. The Scarab hits in a nice clump. Oh, jeez. Not a good attack there. And I really feel like Hero missed his opportunity there. There was 3 cannons and a bunch of probes. And he was just sitting there. And he waited for like 3 more Hydralisks. And then he went in with 3 more Hydralisks against 5 cannons, or 4 cannons and a Reaver. And I think he missed a chance there to finish the bust. Especially, it was so weird to look back and see the larvae that were idle, and maybe it was intentional because he was trying to kind of feel out the situation and see what the front door looked like, and if he could try and bust it down before making a decision about what to build. Or maybe he just slipped up in his macro for a moment there because he was focused on trying to micro his Hydralisk or something along that. But either way, Hero missing a little bit of opportunity. If those Hydras had been built a little bit sooner and they hadn't been sitting around as larvae for a while, and he had, those extra 3 to 6 Hydras before the Reaver came out, and he could have easily taken out those cannons. But instead, we're seeing Hero try to stabilize here a bit. The Reavers and 3 cannons, he actually looks like he maybe have canceled 1 cannon, or maybe one just died, are just going to be the defense there. Snow does have a second base up. Now, it wasn't really mining because all the probes were at the front for a little while, but now they're back to mining here. So it looks like we're going to turn into a possibly normal game, because it's going to be so difficult to bust that now. I mean, basically impossible to bust that. He still doesn't have a gateway, by the way. Wait, he's actually going to kill the... Oh, I think that extra pylon is in the way of building a nexus there. He's actually going to try and build a 3rd base, and so that's pretty gutsy there. He's going to pick up one of the Reavers with a shuttle, not the other one. Is he going to get the other one? I mean, if he takes all the Reavers away from the front, then he does leave himself open to a bust again. Yeah, there's the Nexus squeezing in the middle there. The extra pylon must have been in the way, so that's kind of an interesting spot there. But, you know, he was panicking. He's like, oh, crap, I'm going to have one pylon powering all these cannons. I need to get a second one up just in case. So now he does have the Reavers in the shuttle. He's got a significant little squad of Corsairs running around. Actually, no, it looks like still... Unless another Reaver popped out of the Robo Bay that I haven't seen or something like that. It looks like he's just got one Reaver in the shuttle. But, you know, one Reaver can still do... You know, Scarab will one-shot drones, or so if he can get some damage off, get some harassment off, with even just one Reaver, it can still be very significant. You know, if you're going to try and kill off buildings or something like that, you're going to need two Reavers, but with just the one Reaver, he can still do a lot of damage. I guess if you're battling Hydralisks, obviously I want a second Reaver as well, but I don't think he's going to plan on battling the Hydralisks. I think he's going to try and dodge them. That's my thinking here. Okay, so the shuttle came back. And it looks like he's feeling more comfortable. I think he's picked up the second Reaver now. There are Hydralisks around the map. There are also cannons. We saw him warping in cannons into some of his expansions, so he might be worried about a Spire switch or something like that, or a drop perhaps. So here we go. He's moving into the side. There's Hydralisk primed and ready to go in this location. So he's actually going to just dodge away. The Corsairs escorting the shuttle fairly well. He's actually going to run in here. He's going to try and target down the Hydralisk. Nice Scarab in the middle of them. Kills a couple, damages probably a couple others, but no big drone kills or anything like that. He's just kind of doing a little bit of being an annoyance almost with these so far. He's forcing, I mean, look at all these Hydras spread over every base. So he's at least forcing some Hydralisks to be built, and he's forcing them to spread around the map so they cannot be a unified force to try and do a battle against him. He dips in there a little bit again, but the Hydras are standing guard. A little bit surprised we don't see more Scourge around to try and pick off this shuttle. I mean, obviously Corsairs are going to be able to kill off any Scourge that attack outright, but you usually want to at least have some around to threaten the shuttle, so it can't be too bold like it has been. It's been flying it on its own a little bit outside of the range of the Corsairs a couple times, and so that's been a little bit of a threat. And yeah, he's just guarding really, really well with these Hydras at every angle. A random Scourge camping over the gateways. So now we're seeing that he's been doing this harassment with these Corsairs, which there's a lot of Corsairs now, maybe even too many Corsairs, and the shuttle. He's been doing this harassment, forcing him to keep back, and while he's been forcing him to stay back, he might actually see some damage here. Goes for the Hydralisks first instead of the drones rather. Kills a few Hydralisks. Again, no drone kills. So he's focusing on powering down Hero's army size when he has a chance. But yeah, while he's been doing this, that's 2 robotics facilities. That's crazy. That's actually a potential for a lot of Reavers right there. At the expense of other units. He's been building Dragoons, so that's been using a bunch of his gas. So I don't know if he's been able to even utilize both of those robotics facilities. A lot of Scourge going down. 1 Corsair goes down to the Hydras, but that's, you know, why you get that many Corsairs, just to make sure you can really easily kill stuff off. Here comes the Reavers in here to battle these few Hydralisks. There's 6 Reavers in shuttles, ladies and gentlemen. That's so many Reavers. Oh my goodness. And with some Dragoon support, it's going to be so difficult to actually kill this off. If the Corsairs come along as well, then there won't even be a possibility of doing a snipe with some Scourge. Oh, the shuttles are getting out a little bit too far ahead, though. He needs to be very careful. He does not go too far with the... Okay, actually, they were rallying to where the Corsairs were. So never mind. He's actually just going to drop a ton of Reavers in this spot. Several Scarabs chasing those drones far away. Actually gets a handful of them. But this is just such a unique spot that he just... Look at it. He demolishes the hatchery in like 1 round of Scarabs. Absolutely slaughtered. He's actually going to leave 1 Reaver behind for some reason. I guess just to try and mop up any drones that come back there. Or something like that. No, he's going to come back in. Is he going to go into the main? He got counterattacked in his choke point, but holding it off quickly, he turned back around and goes back to the main. Is he going to even target the drones? He is going after the drones with a few Scarabs, but they're not going to land this time. He could theoretically try and target down some buildings in the main, though. Even taking out the lair would be a thing. Maybe the no, but the Hydras are attacking the front, so he's turned around. Now he's going to try and come back and defend. He's squeezed in some Hydras to attack those Reavers in the back. 1 has gone down, 2 has gone down. The third one, it looks like, I think this is the third one, is going to barely go down. No, yes, it does go down, but right as the reinforcing Reavers get dropped off, and yeah, that's Hero has now lost his second base. He's lost a bunch of drones, and now, crucially, he's lost his entire fighting force. So now, with these Dragoons coming across the map, Corsairs for a little bit of insurance, and the Reavers, of course, he still has 4 Reavers, maybe even more. Yeah, now up to 5 Reavers. Look at the sunken colony over on the side. That's kind of a cute spot there. Where they can attack over the ridge at the Reavers. This is a really good spot for Hero to fight, actually, if he can try and snipe something here, but there's so many Reavers. There's so many Reavers, it's just going to be impossible to power down these units. The Dragoons are pretty tanky as well. As a matter of fact, he's actually going to be able to fire over the ridge at the sunken colonies with the Dragoons to take them out. So it was a cheeky spot, a nice spot there. But the sunks are just not going to be enough. Dragoons relying to... This is such an interesting situation. Dragoon Reaver Corsair, not even any Zealots. This is kind of crazy to not see any Zealots. Usually you'd want some Zealots to the front to try and push up against the Hydras and keep them farther back so they couldn't engage, but in this case he's like, you know what, I just have so many damn Reavers that it doesn't even matter that I'm not like gonna guard them very well. They're just gonna kill everything so quickly that it's gonna be pretty much GG. Oh, and he's even got, oh, look at those hatcheries. They're stacked up. He could even actually target the bottom right hatchery, and the Scarabs would damage all 4 of them, and he could kill off all 4 hatcheries, like, really quickly. And that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, stay in the game long enough so we can see the hatcheries die, please. Oh, never mind. He's not. He stopped doing that. Anyways, there's the GG coming from Hero. And Snow's going to take the first game for this Winners League match. And well played. Very, very cool. I'm trying to think back to, like, you know, how that unfolded the way it did. And I think it all came down to, you know, Hero could have just busted him with Hydras, but he put those Zerglings in that spot in the gap to make sure that Snow couldn't scout it. And then he kept Zerglings out in front to stop the probe from getting in, and then he just failed at both. And he just stopped using the Lings as a shield. He removed the Lings from the gap to stop the probe from running into his main. The scout went off, and then, I mean, you saw, even with the scouting it and building extra cannons, he barely held on there at all. And so, you guys are getting a little bit of a look-see at the related videos to things that I've been watching lately. Yeah, so even with all that, he barely held on. You know, remember, he had 3 cannons at one point, and no forge, and no gateway, and no units. And, you know, imagine if he had 1 cannon at that point instead, and he just dies. He just loses the game. And, because then his robo dies, and he can't... he wouldn't be able to build anything fast enough. So it would have been an easy win for Hero if he just had kept that scout out. But he let the scout in, let Snow barely respond well enough in time. And it turned into a long game. And then from there, though, kind of Hero was just behind, right? Hero was behind by having gone for this Hydra's bust and not gone for drones and what have you. So... Anyway, very entertaining game, very interesting game. Again, these guys are going to be playing in the ASL quarterfinals, so hopefully we see some games as exciting as that. And you know what? I feel like some of the way that, you know, these guys have had a long time to mature as players, and so even some of the little stuff that we saw go wrong for each player, we might not see in this day and age, theoretically. So a little bit of trivia for you guys as well. This is kind of an interesting thing. So Snow won this game in the Winners League, but these two actually played in the ABC Mart MSL, and Hero was the victor in that series, and he actually beat Snow twice to advance in the ABC Mart MSL. And so just kind of an interesting little tidbit that there might be, the ASL might be a little bit of vengeance on the line. Hey, remember when you knocked me out of the MSL 11 years ago? Well, now it's time for revenge. Might be what Snow is thinking. I don't know. Probably not, though. I don't know if they would be thinking about such things. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. GG.